Guys, what is going on? My name is Ryan. I play chess and put my videos on YouTube for you. Today I wanted to continue my series of tactics training and go over discovered checks and discovered attacks. So in chess, a discovered attack is an attack revealed when one piece moves out of the way of another. Discovered attacks can be extremely powerful as the piece moved can make a threat independently of the piece it reveals. Like many chess tactics, they succeed because the opponent is unable to meet two threats at once. If the discovered attack is a check, it is called a discovered check. The essence of a classic discovered attack is that before it is executed, neither piece directly threatens anything. After it is executed, both of them do. Mastering discoveries means learning new ways to think about the pieces and the relationships between them. You may be accustomed to thinking of bishops as pieces that attack diagonally and to rooks as pieces that attack back and forth and from side to side. While that's not wrong, it's incomplete. Bishops attack diagonally and unmask vertical and horizontal attacks by rooks and queens. Rooks attack vertically and horizontally and unmask diagonal attacks by bishops and queens. Make it one of your goals to think of pieces not just as individuals but as partners, as parts of a team whose efforts need to be coordinated. If the opponent deals with the discovered attack, the attacking player will have time to return the moving piece out of harm's way or capture a more valuable piece. I've came up with a quick example here to provide you with the basic example of a discovery attack on how you can move your pieces out of harm's way or capture a more valuable piece. If the opponent deals with the discovered attack, the attacking player will have the choice to return the original piece out of harm's way or capture a more important piece. In this example that I've come up here quickly, we are going to be taking on the rook here and winning the rook. So let's walk through it. You can see the discovery attack pretty much right away here. It's going to be on the queen, and it's a combination of this knight and this bishop. Now this bishop is going to be threatening this queen, and the queen, a more valuable piece, is going to have to move out of harm's way. So the discovery is made when white moves his knight to this square. Now he's directly attacked by a pawn, but the larger threat right now is on his queen. So he's going to have to move that out of the way, and what he's probably going to do is move it, right here to recapture this rook. This allows me to come in and check the king, win the rook, and that is the essence of my example of what a discovery attack is. This is going to be my first example of 5, and it's basically my most basic example, and that's how we're going to do it. We're going to work on the most basic examples and move up to more challenging positions. Alright guys, here's my second example. Just to prelude this, I think you should make it one of your goals to think about your pieces, not just as individuals, but as partners, as parts of a team whose efforts need to be coordinated, and discovery attacks are one of the ultimate tactics of coordination, as each partner makes the other more powerful. A bishop and a rook on the same file, with the former masking the latter, is often far more destructive than each piece by itself. We will emphasize the spotting of discovery attacks because the practical importance of training your eyes in this way is so great. If you don't see the basic pattern when it's there, all the skill in the world at perfecting it won't be of much use to you. Okay, so in this position, everything is roughly equal. We can see the discovery attack forming though already. This rook here is lifted up and is no longer protecting this check on the king. And it's black to move right here, and he makes the mistake of going after the queen. So this is his first move, and it automatically puts me at a 5-point advantage. Anyway, so he moves here, and this allows me to check the king. Now this is called a discovered check, just in technical terms. So my next move is going to be check, and this allows me to open up a discovered attack on the queen. Obviously he recaptures with his other rook, and I come in here and take the queen. So that's my first example. Like I said, we're going to get a little bit more complicated here. My second example is fairly simple on the surface, but it starts off with him taking my rook with the pawn, and now it's my move. If you can see, I've got a nice little discovered check that I can give the king. So what this is saying is basically I can take this rook if this pawn and the squares that the pawn directly attacks is valuable. Since the queen is on one of the spaces that this pawn will attack, I can take the queen if it's check, and this is called a check once again. So since he just took my rook, it's our move, and it goes with just sacrificing the queen, trading the queen off for a rook. Obviously the king is probably going to recapture it, which he does, but this allows me to follow through with this and check the king. Once again, this pawn can recapture this queen right afterwards. Let's go on to the third example now of discovery attacks. Discovery attacks always involve two offensive pieces, an unmasked piece and an unmasking piece. Every piece has the power to unmask attacks by others by moving off of the lines that it occupies. Not every piece has the power to be unmasked. A knight, for example, can't be unmasked because it can't be masked in the first place. It jumps, rather, from side to side. so it doesn't move along a line that can be temporarily blocked by a fellow piece. But the knight is a magnificent masker and unmasker of attacks by other pieces, and we'll see this in the following example. Alright, so for my third example of discovery attacks, remember what I talked about with knights being great unmaskers of discovery attacks? That's simply because they can jump and unmask one of your pieces to attack another piece. So in this position, black makes the mistake. What I did here in my game is I came up here and took his knight on this square and with my rook and threatened his queen. Now the fastest thing that you can think of in this position for black is to recapture here. However, this allows me to set up a nice little discovered attack on the queen, given that I can unmask my knight. And that allows me to come in here with a discovered check and open up the line for my queen to recapture his queen. So he takes with the bishop, and I take back with the queen. And that was my third example, or my fourth example. Let's go on to the fifth example here, and this is my last example, and it's fairly complicated. But the discovered check is actually a checkmate, and that's why I wanted to save this one for last, just to emphasize how powerful discovered checks are, and it's one of my favorite tactics. So in this position, it's black to move, and obviously he's in check, so he has to move it out of the way, and this allows me to come down with another check on the king. Now the king's only available square is right here, and you can already see the discovered check, discovered attack forming. So this queen is doing a good job of blocking any backwards retreatment from this king. And if I can keep hitting him with checks over and over again, he cannot recapture my queen. This is a nice, check process to get into, simply because it drives the king pretty much to the center of the board, where all your pieces are going to be. So if I give you 5 seconds, if you can spot how to do the discovered check, it's 2 moves. Give you the chance to do that right now. And it goes check. He made the only move that he can make in this position. Again, the knight is blocking both of these squares. The only thing he can do is to recapture, and this allows me to unveil the power of this rook and this bishop at the same time with a discovered checkmate. This is really rewarding if you can ever pull something off like this in your games, but this is my last example, so once again, and that's checkmate. So, thank you guys for watching my video on discovery attacks, and I wish you the best of luck in your chess. Thank you. Bye-bye. What's up, guys? Thanks again for watching my video here today. I really appreciate it, and if you have any questions about any specific moves or anything about the game, please leave them below. I'd love to answer those. And last but not least, if you got anything out of this video at all, or you just simply enjoyed it, I would highly encourage you to subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and that way you can get in touch with any future videos that I put out. Anyways, have a good rest of your day, and good luck in your chess.